My name is Mr. Oladimeji OS. So I'm the one taking the mathematics. So today we are looking at mathematics of finance. So under that we are looking at interest application, just like your simple interest. So we're going to be looking at what interest is, the formula, and also the compound interest as well. So firstly, what is an interest? Interest is the amount paid for borrowing money or certain amount for other businesses. For instance, when you go to a bank or for any other lenders association, there'll be an amount given. The interest is the amount added to that value of money. So we have formula for that, and we have some terminologies. When you talk about the P in the interest is principal. We have the T, which is the time. We have the rate, and we have the what amount. So principal is the original amount of money used on the interest. I take that again. The principal is the amount of money used in the course of the business or in the course of the borrowing. Then we have the rate. Initially I said we have the what? We have the interest, we have the rate, we have the timing, and we have the amount. So what's the rate? The rate is the percentage charged or earned per year. The percentage charged or amount earned per year is the rate. We have the time. Time is the period the amount is what is being borrowed or invested. In the formula, there must be a time duration to the time of the borrowing. So the timing is the time lapsed for the refund of the money. Then we have the amount. Is the total money after the interest is added. The amount is the money added of the whole thing. So it's added to the interest. That is the amount. So as I said earlier on, we have the simple interest, which is SI. The principal and the formula is principal times time times rate over 100. I tell that again. The formula for simple interest is principal times time times rate over 100. So after the video, I'll send the notes out for us to go through in course of that. So we have the interest. There is the extra money paid on the end amount. So for more explanations, we have the simple interest. Simple interest is calculated on the original principal. Simple interest is calculated on the original principal. And I've said earlier on that principal is PRT over 100. Principal interest is what? PRT over 100. When we talk about principal, I've explained before. So the formula for simple interest is PRT over 100. The P is principal, the rate is R, the T is what? Time over 100. So let's look at an example. An example will be given in the course of this video. For example, it said the sum of 20,000 naira. The sum of how much? 20,000 naira is invested at 5% per annum for 3 years. The sum of 20,000 is invested at 5% per annum for 3 years. From this question now, the 20,000 naira is the principal. The 20,000 is the what? Is the principal. The rate is 5%. The rate is 5%, and the time, the duration of the simple interest is 3 years. So to calculate this now, we must go back to our formula, which I gave earlier on, which is what? PTR over 100. Just get your principal, times it by the time, times it by the rate, then you divide it by 100. So the 20,000 that is given times 5 times 3 all over 100 is the answer. So when you calculate it, you cut these two zeros, will divide each other, then you'll be left with 200 times 5 times 3, and the answer to that will give us 3,000. So the 3,000 is the interest on that 20,000. So to get the final amount is the 20,000, which is the what? The principal plus the 3,000 interest. So that gives us what? 23,000 naira. So this also will be sent to the of course with the video. So that's all about the simple interest. More examples will be given in the course of this exercise. I have some exercises based on the simple interest. So move to the compound interest. Now compound interest is calculated on both the principal and accumulated interest. So on this one now, the compound interest is calculated both on the principal, on the accumulated, and also the accumulated interest. And it has a formula. The compound interest formula is quite different from the simple interest formula. The compound interest now, we have the A equals to the A, which is what? The amount, equals to P, which is principal, open a bracket, 1 plus R over 100, then close the bracket. This is the formula we're going to use to calculate our compound interest. which is what A equals to R, opening of brackets, then a I plus R over 100. So with that now, when you close the bracket, any question that is given to us, just intersect them, put them inside, and you solve it out. So compound interest is CI equals to what? A minus P also. For example under the compound interest, he said 10,000 is interested at 10%. Example again, 10,000 is interested at 10% per annum for 2 years. This question is quite different from the simple interest. 10,000 is invested at 10,000 at 10% per annum for 2 years. When you look at the amount now, which is 10,000, open your brackets, the what? The I plus 10 over 100. Now the rate in the question is 10%. 10% rate is given. That is 10 over 100 raised to power 2. After you close the bracket, you square it. I will send the example also in the course of this video. You square it. So the total amount there, and the answer is the A, which is the amount, equals 1,000 brackets, 10,000 brackets 1.1 square. When you divide the 10 over 100 in conversion of fraction to decimal, when you're converting a fraction to decimal, we're having 10 over 100. When you cut 1 0, you are left with what? 1 over 10. And 1 over 10 give us what? 0.1. The 0.1 added with 1. 0.1 added with 1 give us 1.1. The bracket close. Now in the course of this video, I will send what I'm trying to explain now. I will send it along with the video. I come again with that solution. I said amount is A equals to the 10,000, open your bracket, then I plus 10 over 100. The 10 is a 10% over 100. Then close the bracket, then square it. So we move further to the 10,000, open bracket 1.1 square. How do you get the 1.1? I said it's that 10 over 100. 10 over 100 is a fraction. We need to change to what? Decimal. So 10 over 100, we cancel 1 0 up, cancel 1 0 down. You'll be left with what? 1 over 10. And 1 over 10 to a fraction will give us what? 0.1. So the 0.1, you add it with 1. It gives us what? 1.1 square.
Quiz.